I'm Renu Rajbandari. I am from Nepal. Actually, I come from Tarai region, from southern part of the country. And by training, I'm a medical doctor, but I just started my human right to work for last 24 years. Women's right and women's right to health and women's right to be free from all form of violence is my core area of work.
My name is Yusuf Bashir. I am from Garissa in northern Kenya. Haki na Sheria is in Swahili. It basically means rights and the rule of law. The activities of Haki na Sheria are divided into three program areas. That is governance, which relates to holding the county governments to account in terms of ensuring that the priorities in terms of development are realized by the people. We also do legal aid for poor community members who cannot afford legal services. And we finally do a lot of campaigning on various advocacy issues of interest, whether it's on torture, extrajudicial killings, illegal detention, and the like.
My name is Hala, and I am originally from Sudan. Our organization is a network for women organization and civil society organization that interested in issues of gender equality across the greater Horn of Africa. So we do work with women groups in Ethiopia, in Sudan, South Sudan, and Uganda and Somalia. And it's very, very complex region, particularly if you are working on women's rights.
My name is Adilur Rahman Khan. I'm from Bangladesh. I live in Dhaka city, which is the capital of Bangladesh. I am a practicing lawyer in the Supreme Court of Bangladesh, and we have founded this organization called Odhikar, which means rights in Bangla, and it was founded in 94, 10th October, which is also the International Day Against Death Penalty. And Odhikar campaigns against enforced disappearance, extrajudicial killings, custodial torture, violence against women issues, and space for the civil society, for the people, like freedom of expression and freedom of association. And we have a network of human rights defenders, which is very active in Bangladesh. That's why Odhikar is under attack by the government, and Odhikar is presently a persecuted organization in Bangladesh.
My journey as a human rights defender is linked to my upbringing in the area. And human rights, it's the first time I came across it in my high school readings and everything. Made me aware that there is a framework and there's a way and there is a mode of thinking that was not being sort of in tandem with the situation that I was in. That in an area whereby human rights are being violated day to day, in an area whereby you do know that your rights, you're not enjoying them, and then you come across readings and writings and saying that these are rights that you should enjoy as a human being, and these are rights that are being enjoyed by everybody else. And there are mechanisms through human rights to make sure that these violations stop. So that is, I came across human rights in that way, and I sort of made a decision to be a part of that process by going on and studying to become a lawyer.
Well, I've been an activist, I guess, all my life. You know, I was part of student movements, and I have a genuine interest on social transformations, and I do believe that despite the fact that it's a long-term process, that peaceful activism, for equality and for rights is the only option.
Best moments are when you see that your achievements are coming, like when General Ershad had to resign because of the people's uprising. Best moments are like when you see that your friends are getting mobilized, when you see that people's power is getting strengthened. So best moments are the moments which empowers your work.
When you feel that a transformation is happening, that something is actually changing.
We have 7 safe houses throughout the country, where women survivors come. One of the best moments which I just want to say that is in 1996, there was a group of girls who were rescued from different brothels of India, and they were brought to Nepal. Several organizations has kept them for the kind of shelter, and there were one group of women who were with OREC. And all women who were with OREC, all girls who were with OREC, and I provided training, I developed training package, I worked with them. So now they came out with a kind of first survivors organization in the world, Shakti Samoa. And they have received several international awards and other things. I think that is my best moment when I see, because what I feel that, okay, I have been able to change life of thousands of women, but this group of women, who were kind of uneducated, who were in the brothels of India, but came, and then now they are known in the world, and then now almost all, they have completed even their schooling, they're in college, and they are independent. So this I always celebrate.
Working with men against all forms of violence against women and see a transformation in some of the young men attitudes and behavior, and they say, I get it, now I can understand, that if I did that, it actually gets back to me.
Challenges relating to security, the whole global war on terror, I think would be the foremost challenge to our work in terms of the way it can be used as an opportunity to repress people.
Human rights work means you are dealing with the power, right? And power always creates challenge.
Now the civil society in Bangladesh is under attack. People having dissenting voices can't express their opinion very openly, and many political detainees are in jail. Newspaper editor, journalists are in jail. I was in jail.
When you work on human rights, when you talk about equality between men and women, when you talk about women and girls can do things that actually men can do, in a society that's the discrimination against women is inherited. It's part of the construct and identity. You can imagine how difficult is that. So we're often being labeled, and called infidels and called, westernized and so on. And we're often under threats.
Even I used to get phone calls that, okay, if I don't stop working, my daughter will be kidnapped.
In Bangladesh, according to Odhikar's documentation, 215 people got disappeared since 2009, and about 1,200 plus people got killed by the various security forces. Torture is massive.
Especially those women who work on sexual and reproductive health and right, those who work against sexual violence. So all the time, they get leveled as a kind of women who break the families. And kind of every day there will be some one or another issue of violence against women human rights defenders, which I have to deal with.
So it's a difficult situation where human rights defenders along with the people are trying their level best to fight back, and it's a kind of uphill task, where the repression is also extreme.
Every morning, I look at my purse and I think that, okay, because I might not come back home. So you make sure, okay, I should have my toothbrush, I should have some underwear, I should have, because I might not come back.
Cooperation between human rights defenders is a matter of survival. It is of the utmost importance. For human rights defenders to do their work, they must work with other organizations and other individuals. This provides the relevant protection that they need in terms of going about their work, as opposed to being isolated and then sort of repressed.
International solidarity is crucial and instrumental, and it's something that needs to be invested on more and more for an actual transformation in the global south, particularly in places, isolated places, you know, where there is chronic conflict that has been happening, like the Horn of Africa. You know, people, they feel left out, they are very isolated, they're losing hope, and I think some people, they say, oh, we should give up on them. Those countries are hopeless. But it's not that way. It's the fact that as human beings, we should never give up on each other.
It's a big challenge at the international level, at the regional level, to project Bangladesh as a kind of country where democracy is under challenge, where civil societies are facing repression. So if you can project that, then you can get the needed support, and that support can be mobilized, and there can be a kind of combination at the international level and at the national level.
We need to exist there, because regardless of what people think, it's a long road, but this is the only road towards transformation. Yeah.
And today I'm talking to you because of that support. The international human rights defenders activated. That's why I am back to my work. That's why I can come here and talk to you.
We need to bring the human rights back into grassroots, and we need to use the human rights movement as a tool for democracy and for development and for stability, because it's a key, it's a critical point. It's the entry point, to development, and I think, we will be kidding ourselves if we thought, oh, let's just look at development without human rights. We should have learned from the past 60 or 70 years, post-independent states in Africa, development without actually having a human rights framework to protect it. It doesn't function, and it doesn't work. Yeah.